was too gruesome to mention, taking out the garbage. On the evening of the following day, Spellbinder called a halt. He dipped his wand into the cauldron and put on his sparkling hat. "Time I was gone," he said. "I must not keep my customers waiting. Sleep well, my boy. We have much to do tomorrow." And under the cloak of night, the sorcerer set forth from the castle, whistling and swinging his wand. Hans did sleep well, so well that the dawn and Spellbinder woke him all too soon. Still he mumbled to himself, "I am learning my trade. One day I will be Hans, the sorcerer, and I will have an apprentice of my own." Sunrises chase sunsets around the castle, and as the seasons passed by, they stopped to pay their respects to Spellbinder. With the boy's help, he was fast becoming the most powerful sorcerer in the world. Hans longed to see Spellbinder casting his spells, but his master kept delaying him. "Sometime soon, my boy," he promised. Yet somehow it never seemed to be the right time. So Hans planned to follow him secretly. One night, he waited until only the sparkles from the sorcerer's hat could be seen in the distance. Then he ran to Greta and begged her to unlock the front door. But no sooner had Hans stepped outside than the giant stone cats that stood guard there turned on him with flaming eyes and roared like dragons. And Greta spoke to him for the first time. "Poor Hans," she said, "don't you see? We are spellbound here by Spellbinder." The girl had never had the heart to tell him before, and now she sat on the steps and wept. And Hans wondered, was there no hope for their future? And then the boy had an idea. He ran to the sorcerer's crystal ball and rubbed it furiously. But all hope faded in the swirling mists within the glass. For they saw Spellbinder out in the world, working harm and havoc on man and beast alike. And his magic, like his hat and his heart, was black. Hans clenched his fists. If only he had the power to stop Spellbinder, but the boy knew nothing of the strange words that cast the spells. "I know where they are kept," said Greta. And she led Hans to the topmost tower of the castle. In the sorcerer's chamber, she showed him their master's book of magic. "He can read," she whispered, and her eyes were wide with wonder. At last, Hans understood the sorcerer's question on the night they had first met. "But I can read," he exclaimed. "Really, I can." "Then you can be as powerful as he is, Hans," murmured Greta, her eyes even wider. That was going to take practice. So every night, Hans practiced. Of course, even if you can read, you can still make mistakes. And Hans made many. Some were spectacular. Some were alarming. And some were just plain silly. But all the time, he was learning. Now, Hans could hardly wait for Spellbinder to leave each evening. And that was his worst mistake.